Hello, my name is Camila Sandoval. I am a student of the class English 17, and today I will be presenting my WP2 project based on the text lens. Why are there so many different kinds of dogs? By Morel Kathleen. In 2018, with my family, we went to a pet shop to adopt a puppy. While we were deciding what puppy to adopt, we were taking into consideration how we would take care of it based on its breed. We just had to open Google and search the breed of our interest to see how they behave. Now, if we had gone to a shelter instead, where 75% of dogs are mixed breeds, we will have asked someone how the dog behaves to know how to treat them properly. When I was looking for videos for my project, I knew I wanted to know more about dogs and talk about them. I went to the Dogs and Animal Catalog and crossed by Mariel Kathleen to talk. Why are there so many different kinds of dogs? She explained that humans initially bred dogs for hunting, herding, or guarding, but over time we started breeding them for appearance and companionship. That shift made me wonder about something deeper and formulate the next question. How will mixing breeds affect the behavior or personality of a dog? The three main ideas I will be talking about are the next ones. First is the dog's genes, where I will explain a little bit of genes, RRTHY and OXDR, and other genes. Then physical changes with the code example. Lastly, purebred versus crossbred dogs. I will mention their differences and the Doodle's case. Let's start with the dog's genes, the foundation that makes every dog unique. One key study looked at different types of Shiba Inu dogs in Japan. Researchers found that even within one breed, there are distinct genetic clusters. The most interesting part was two genes, LRRTM4 and OXTR. LRRTM4 is linked to predation, the instinct to chase or hunt. OXTR, on the other hand, is linked to sociability, friendliness, and even nose sensitivity. These two genes have a big impact on how dogs behave. That means genes literally shape how dogs act, how social, how curious, or how protective they are. However, there are other genes related to how their body system works and therefore have an impact on their traits. A great gene to point out is the AMY2B gene, which helps dogs digest starch. Dogs in agricultural are used to eat more plant-based food. Meanwhile, Arctic dogs, like huskies, keep the older low-copy version. So, genes don't just affect personality, they tell the story of how dogs evolve with us, changing as our lifestyle changed. Let's look at what happens with the outside physical changes and appearance. The physical features of a dog could give us a hint of what happens when genes are mixed. A study on over 1,000 dogs identified just three main genes: RSPO2, FGF5, and KRT7. These genes explain most coat differences in dogs, like coat length, curliness, and furnishing, like the little mustache and eyebrows of a terrier. So whether your dog has a fluffy golden coat or a wiry terrier texture, you are looking at a history of small genetic changes, which humans intentionally selected over centuries. Finally, we have the last idea, which is purebred versus crossbred dogs. Purebreds are dogs with very specific predictable traits. As I said at the start of this TED Talk, we know what to expect from a border collie or a Dalmatian, but that predictability comes at a price: limited genetic diversity. Studies show that high inbreeding in some breeds, like San in Shiba, can lead to health issues. Crossbreeds, on the other hand, bring in new combinations of genes, and that is where it gets fascinating. A commentary on designer dog ownership in the USA focused on doodles, dogs like golden doodles and labradoodles. The researcher found that owners of doodles reported higher satisfaction than owners of purebreds or even mixed breed dogs. They described doodles as healthy, friendly, and great with families, which was exactly what people hoped for. The only issue? Their coats. Many owners underestimated how much grooming that low shedding fur would require. Another key point from that commentary is that crossbreed dogs often have lower risk of inherited disease and longer lifespans. So while breeding pure dogs helps maintain alignment, mixing breeds can sometimes improve health and balance behavior. When we combine different genetic backgrounds, we often get dogs that are not only physically diverse, but behaviorally more adaptable, a blend of calmness, intelligence, and affection. As final thoughts, all this research leads to one conclusion: the story of dogs is the story of their genes, and ours at some point. Every characteristic feature, such as a wag, bark, and cuddle, has a genetic reason behind it, shaped by thousands of years of partnership with humans. So, in conclusion, what happens when we mix breeds? We don't just create new dogs, we create new possibilities. Genetics gave us the blueprint, but love, care, and environment finish the design. Maybe that is why dogs are called our best friends. They are living proof that nature and nurture can coexist perfectly. I would like to thank Professor Ake and my group members for supporting and giving feedback during this project.